everyone, thank you for joining me. So I thought I would do a Matchbox special. I've got two lined up, obviously this one and then one other, and basically what I want to do is give you an update on the Matchbox kits that I've got in my collection that are built, whether they be on their own bases or bases I made up for them. So the first lot I thought I would show this Monday is all the armoured vehicles that I've got so far. The first one is the M7 Priest. What I'll do is I'll put the PK numbers somewhere on the screen rather than me trying to remember all of them. This one isn't on its own base. This was a base I created for it. It was a bit fiddly, this build, I remember. I finished it in British colours rather than American, just because I haven't got many British vehicles of any of the companies that I build in this desert stone kind of colour, and I thought it would be a little bit different to do it in that. So that's the first one. So staying in the desert, we've got the Humber Mark II armoured car. Again, this isn't on the base that's provided by Matchbox or the repops by Revel. I wanted to do something different, and so I created this base for this particular vehicle. Quite enjoyed doing this. Some of the chipping on it looks really cool, and I had a lot of fun building this. Let's look at the odd one out, the Russian vehicle, because a lot of the vehicles are either British, American or German. So this is the Russian T-34. This is the early version. Is it T-34/40? I'm not certain. 41. As I say, it's the odd one out because it's the only Russian vehicle in my collection. I don't know whether it's the only Russian vehicle that Matchbox did. This is on the Matchbox base. Obviously I've added the flocking, not particularly well. You can see the paintwork showing through the grass, but I wanted to give it that kind of summer kind of step colour. But I keep saying really enjoyable to build. I'll probably be saying that for all the kits, because I just love my Matchbox kits. So on to the next. So this one hasn't got a base at all. It may have been put on one that has since been lost or whatever. The figure in this I don't think is from Matchbox. I think it's from an aftermarket company, but I needed a tank commander that was drinking a cup of tea. Sherman Firefly, one of my favourite tanks of World War II. Fantastic British design, obviously. So yeah. A really nice model to build. Certainly my favourite Sherman, and as I say, one of my favourite tanks, British tanks of World War II. Let's have a look at the only other one that hasn't got a base. I did do a diorama for this one, but I had to make space on my shelves, and some of the dioramas had to be binned, unfortunately. So this is the SDK have said, is it 224? Anyway, I'll put something on the screen. This is the Puma, fantastic armoured car with that 5cm anti-tank gun on there. Just I've loved this vehicle ever since I first saw it. Obviously, when I built it as a kid, when Matchbox was still around. This, out of all of them, I think is the only vehicle that I airbrushed. So the red and the green were airbrushed on this. I didn't use a hairy stick for this one. But yeah, cracking little kit. Let's stay with the Germans. This is the Panzer III. Yeah, I had to check the return rollers there. This is the Panzer III with the 50, I think it's with the 50mm gun on it. Obviously from Matchbox. This is on the Matchbox base. I would like to build all these models on the original Matchbox bases at some stage, so those that you've seen that aren't, I'd like to get them again and build them on the Matchbox bases. This is a recent build. I hadn't had this kit for some time. I had to bite the bullet and pay a bit of money for this one. So those that Revell haven't repopped, obviously you can imagine that you can only get them in the Matchbox boxes. They do go for some money on occasions, but I desperately wanted this vehicle. So the last of the German range from Matchbox is this Panzer Mark II. If you recall, although it's we've got a background of the desert there, which is again the Matchbox base, the original base. The Panzers, when they first were sent to North Africa, were still finished in the Panzer Grey. So because I really enjoyed the Panzer Grey colour, I decided to leave it in this colour. All I did was put a wash over it to give it a dust effect. But yeah, really pleased with how this one came out. So this one's slightly an oddball. Sorry about the dust on these guys. This is the Comet, British Comet, and it is actually on its Matchbox base, but you can't see it because it's covered in the in like this mud effect, and then the Matchbox base has been stuck to a bigger base. I also added a couple of aftermarket. Well, I got an idea that they're possibly Matchbox figures, you know, the soft plastic Matchbox figures. I've added a couple of those as well to this to this diorama, but that was a lot of fun. And again, the Comet tank was just a fantastic vehicle. So on to another British vehicle, although most of you will think it is an American one. It is actually an M40 GMC General Motor Carriage, but it's finished in British markings. I think it's a regiment that was on the Rhine. I think it may have been after the war they had some of these, obviously facing off the Eastern Bloc military. This was one of those where I just wanted to basically put a model together, paint it, decorate it and get it on my shelf. I have got a second one to show you of these, and it's actually in, I think it's in American markings, so yeah. So the last three now are all American. First one is the Chaffee. I can remember building this, as I mentioned, I think when I actually did the video on this particular model. I can remember building this in France on a school trip. Everybody else was sunning themselves on the beach or wherever and doing daft things. I managed to find a model shop in France with a friend, and so we went back to the hotel and we were making up our model vehicles that we bought, and one of them was the Chaffee, the other one was the T-34. This is a really nice kit. Obviously the film, oh go on, you tell me, Battle of the Bulge, with Telly Savalas being the tank commander, this model brings back fond memories of watching that film. Lovely little kit. Okay guys, so this is the infamous Charlie Jeff diorama, where we've got Charlie and Jeff basically arguing about something. I'm not quite sure what they are arguing about. This was this diamond tank transporter. It was a lovely kit to put together. I really enjoyed doing it. And as you can see, we've got an M40 on the back in the American markings. It's had its one of its road wheels blown off and part of the sponson damaged, so the track's all missing and everything. Did a bit more weathering on, well, I did a lot more weathering on this. It looks much better than the British variant that I did. So on to the final kit from my military vehicles from Matchbox. This one is my favourite of all the Matchbox military vehicles that was released, and I shall grab that now. So here it is, guys. This is the M16 half-track, American half-track, with the quadruple 20mm anti-aircraft gun on the back. Now, you car guys will have nostalgia about various models that you built when you was a kid, and so you'll understand when I say that this it is the kit of my youth. To be honest, it is the one of all the Matchbox kits that I possessed. This M16 was the top of the top. Of course, thankfully I've managed to build it and paint it much better than I did when I was 11 or 12, and so pleased to have this on my shelf. So yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. What I intend to do is bore you with all the Matchbox aircraft that I've got, that I've built and obviously kept. Most of them since starting this channel. There's only one, I think. There's about 3 that were built prior to me starting the channel 10 years ago. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope your week is going well. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon.